Hi there. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's located across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And come check us out. Lots of fun things to do. I'm out taking a walk this afternoon, this very hot afternoon. Basically, I just want to work on getting in a slender shape. At least as slender as I can in my stomach. So I'm dieting, exercising, and I'm on my way to visit my sister. And it's hot out here. So, and then I have my bag in case I decide to stop by the gym. Okay, so it looks like I'm killing myself. I actually do believe that it's healthy to get out and do some walking. I don't do jogging or power jogging or anything like that. And if I do go to the gym, I really won't have to do much cardio. Just a little bit of a warm up, maybe just to get things pumped up. But okay. I live downtown, and so I walk over here, and sometimes, and then usually it's at night where it's much cooler there. But when you get to visit people who are not nocturnals, I switch it around. But this is going to be good for me. I'm taking a trip at the end of next month, so I should be more available in the daytime, so I could do some daytime things and some nighttime things. What's the point of this? I don't know. Just that I haven't made like a video of me walking for a while. Oh, I know. So, where I just came from, no, it's one street over. Okay, this is a Willis Knighton recovery, but just beside it, right there on this back street, is a lot. It's an empty lot that used to be a gas station, and we called it DeFatis. DeFatis at one time owned the gas station. I don't know if they owned it when I lived down there, but everybody just called it DeFatis. Yeah, it was just underneath where I came, underneath this underpass here. Yeah, where I came in the underpass, where you go, there's an underpass for Louisiana also. It was the Louisiana Avenue, just right there also. Anyway, long story short, it's really nice to be able to walk in these areas now, whereas before you could not walk without being accosted by people that wanted to sell you drugs. It's a much nicer neighborhood now than it was 20 years ago. Like, there would be people trying to sell me drugs, prostitutes, the random male hustler kind of thing or whatever. It's totally different. I'm concerned this car has been sitting here for the past 2 or 3 days, just sitting there. I hope they're okay. Or the car or whatever. Like maybe it broke down there, but they pulled off to the side of the road or something, and then it's the weekend, so because it's the weekend, they had to wait until the weekday starts tomorrow to get it or whatever. But yeah, okay. Yeah, but that store was called DeFatis. And it was just on the outside of just before you got to that clinic. That clinic used to be Doctor's Hospital. It closed down, and for many, over a decade, it stood. Just not anything inside of it or anything like that. And Willis Knight got a hold of it, and now they do a rehabilitation out of it. So it's a rehabilitation hospital. Let's see. Have I done this walk before? I know that I've done it at night before, and there are probably some videos that I made at night when I've been walking around. Oh, just on the other side of that is the Little Shop of Music on Louisiana Avenue. I need to get over there one day, but I'm resisting because what I do is I budget, and I have an entertainment budget, and and I don't go out of that entertainment budget. I spend what I'm going to spend on my entertainment budget, and that's that, and I'm fortunate. I'm happy for that. With things like guitars and equipment, music, whatever, I have to kind of save up a little bit, But I also want to do a little adventuring. I want to kind of see, so I'm getting in shape so when I'm in other places I can walk too. I want to be very in shape for walking. I go to another city or visit another town or something like that, because I want to do a little bit more of that. Of course, I would not mind a healthy transit system, but also sometimes when you're in a new place, you find out, hey, I'm not quite sure how the transit system works, and until then, you're going to do a little walking. So, which is cool. Who doesn't want to walk, do a little browsing and shopping? I'm taking this cruise in September with my good friend Jay, and he was like, hey, let's do a resort for a day. And I'm like, yeah, and it's cool. We're going to be able to do that. And the reason why is because he was like, while we're in Cozumel, I don't really want to walk around the shop all day. I want to go someplace. It's like, and he's like, by the time you're out and you pay for whatever it is that you'd want to pay for, you may as well just, once you sum that up, do the cost of your resort for the day. And so they have different excursions on the boats, but he found a site that is resort for a day that's not actually sold through the Carnival, which is the one I'm taking, but they will look at all the different options in the area. They'll come pick you up, they'll bring you back, whatever. It's called Resort for a Day. There's an app, and it doesn't matter which cruise ship, what cruise line that you're taking, because they say what's your boat, what cruise line are you taking, when's your date, this and that, and so they find things for you, which is kind of cool. So it's a whole big discovery, and by the time I take the next one, I'll know more about it. So you don't actually have to go through the excursion guest services to book your adventures and excursions. The difference might be, and the next one, not this one, but the next one that I'm planning, we're going to be a stop at the Celebration Key, which is their new thing. It's private. It's a private park by Carnival. And there were 2 casualties. They hadn't been open that long, but there were 2 casualties, 2 seniors, and they died on the same day, but they were from different, they weren't together, or anything like that. But it was probably just, one with a snorkeling incident. Maybe he was snorkeling and the water got him to snorkel. I don't know. And then, yeah. Some of it also can be heat stroke or heat exhaustion. When I'm out walking like this, I most certainly do. I learned this in basic training the hard way years ago. Bring hydration with you. Stay hydrated. You know, protect from heat stroke or even heat exhaustion, which is basically, you know, yeah. Where you just like, you know, it's not quite, you're not quite having a heat stroke, but a heat stroke, you can go into shock and you can die, you know. So, I think heat exhaustion, it's kind of the same thing, but to a lesser degree, and you may not know that it's there. You may not know that it's come on until it has. Also, one of the things that I'll do is I'll come up to this Circle K at this next light that's ahead of me. That one. And that will be a good time for me to stop in and, you know, think about getting a refresher, you know, a reprieve from the heat just for a few minutes. That's one of the things when I'm out walking. You know, a transient person, think about it, especially in the summertime, if it's hot or something like that. This is a way to be a little kind to transient people. Because sometimes even when, whatever you want to judge, if you want to judge someone and say they're living a lifestyle that you don't approve of, you can get off the street if you want. Yes, all that is true. There are ways to get off the street, out of the dangers of living outside, being homeless. No, I don't even like the term homeless, because for some kind of mentality, the home is you take it with you, you know. But you know, regardless of, without shelter, a lot of climate in the world, especially in some extremer climates in the United States, is dangerous. And here we're pretty much landlocked. There we have lakes and things like that, but you can't. Yeah, it's yeah. So anyway, you still have to have, if you're living outside, you still have to have water. You have to get out of the elements. This is a nice breezy shade right here, so this is wonderful, right? But when someone comes up to me, and sometimes they do, and where they maybe, I don't even know if panhandling is the correct term, but basically is a good term, but that is what it is. It's we call it panhandling, which is a lot nicer than begging or whatever. Whatever. You know, whether or not you decide to give the person some change or a dollar bill or whatever it is, whether or not you decide to do that, there's really just no reason to just treat a person with evilness, you know, just like, no, oh my God, get away from me, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, just there's no reason to be mean to someone because they come up to you and have their hand out for something. There's just no reason for it. You can say no thank you and keep going. You can choose not to acknowledge that person if it's easier for you to do that, if you have to, and then they get it, you know. But because believe me, there's a lot more no's out here than there are yeses when someone's panhandling. So you can say no thank you. Nah, you can just wave your hand, you know, or you can just ignore them and keep going, you know. But never do you need to say, dude, fuck you. Don't fucking talk to me anymore. Nothing like that. You don't need to do that. You know. When I'm walking around my neighborhood and people happen to be visiting, I ask that if we're together and we're rolling around and someone comes up and everything, I'm just like, please don't give the money, because it's, you know, first of all, there are a lot of resources that can help, but I say please don't give the money, because if I'm walking around with people who are giving money, and people might start to associate and think that I'm just like an easy ask for money, and then I wouldn't be able to walk around with the amount of comfort and freedom that I do in the neighborhoods that I walk around. People know that I'm local. People know me, and people, hey, he's a cool dude. He'll talk, you know, because I will sit and talk with anybody. If you're on the street, living outside, I'll talk with you. I don't care. The same way that I'll talk with someone who's a homeowner, and they're never going to have to worry about transiency or homelessness or anything like that. By the way, transiency is not the same thing as homeless. If I were to decide, say, to go to it's like the beginning of that movie Hair, which is based on a play, but I'm more familiar with the movie, of course. And so, yeah, the guy, God, what is his name? Anyway, he goes to New York because he's going to the city to enlist in the army, and he gets to Central Park, and the whole idea is that he's supposed to get a place, maybe stay at the YMCA or something like that, or whatever, for a couple of days until he goes to enlist. But he meets Berger and his crew, the people who have run away from the draft. Some of them, and then some of them have run away from other things, you know. But anyway, they're kind of hippie-ish, and they're living in Central Park or whatever. And so, yeah. Those guys, well, the one who went to join the army, he's not homeless. He's transient. He's in transit. So even though he doesn't go someplace, he gets there and he's like looking around like, I'm gonna find a place to stay for a day. You know, he's at that point he's a transient. So that's the difference between a transient person and a homeless person. Although most people are going to, most agencies or professionals will use the term to describe the consumers as transient rather than homeless. But the truth is there's a lot of homeless people, but basically because they don't have shelter, such as a house or apartment that they rent or whatever, they bounce around, sometimes couch surf or whatever. But now that I've explained my understanding of those terms, there are pathways to get off the street and out of the elements and into a place. It does take time, and I'm okay for that, because if you come through and you're willing to get someplace and go through what you have to do, maybe going through a shelter, and the shelter maybe after the first free period, sometimes a few days, sometimes a week, sometimes a month or something. When you use up your free time, sometimes you can go and you can say, hey, do you have a program? Do you have a program that's going to help me change my situation? Can I come in, work for a little bit, and that way save up a little money here and there, and kind of help the facility run itself? And then possibly there's a little bit of a resituating of, you know what? I'm just going to keep walking. I was going to go in and get a soda, but I don't feel like one. Plus, I got sodas in the backpack. And I'm close to where I'm going. And I'm on a roll with this topic. Yeah, so you can get into some sort of program where they can like mentor you and you stay there and work, and then maybe when that's up, some of the places maybe they'll have like a shared group home that you can go to, whatever, kind of get and then kind of step up or double from there. And a lot of people, if you're just a single person and you're cool with that, you don't need home ownership or whatever like that. You might be content to find some place where people come together and rent a house and everybody just, room rental kind of situation. That's fine. Be it sober living or not. I would just advise looking at the dollars and cents when you get ready to do that, and find out that it is best for your budget and best for your comfortability. Some people don't want an entire house to take care of. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, but as anyone will tell you, it doesn't really matter. Keeping the inside of a house clean is a constant thing. And I can't afford a cleaning lady or a cleaning boy or something, to come over. I meant like a guy cleaning young man, basically. I really can't afford to pay someone to come over and help me keep up. So what I do is kind of rotate it out and everything like that. But yeah, the job's never done. You know that if you're the one taking care of the home, there's always something to be done, always. So anyway, I guess my point is, I can be a transient person if I'm someplace and I'm vacationing and I just get off the plane or the bus or the train or whatever, and I get somewhere and it's like, yeah, I can pay for a hotel, but checkout time is in about 4 or 5 hours. It's like maybe that's maybe I could do something else. Maybe I can go to a diner and get a cup of coffee or something, a little lunch or something, and kill some time for 4 or 5 hours, so that when I go to check in to my accommodations, I can max the time for my dollar or something. That's the way my mind works. Unless I'm with people and I go someplace like New Orleans, I'm so familiar with everything that happens in New Orleans that if I got there too late at night, like say 1 or 2 a.m. or something like that, I would probably just go sit around a diner, hang out and everything like that until check-in time the next day. I wouldn't pay that extra $75 or $80 for that night plus, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's a economic kind of thing. And I'm so familiar that I would know the safe places to do that, One of these days when I'm down in New Orleans, and I did this on my Facebook channel, the last time I lived in New Orleans was 2013 going into 2014. For about 8 or 9 months I moved down there. I was just having to reevaluate some things in my mind and my life, and really wanted to change the apartment that I was living in, do something else, So and basically I'd been through in that life situation, my mom had died at the end of 2012. And so months later, I was like, I really really need a change from this headspace. And the only thing I could think of to do that would be to take a vacation. Now, these were the days when I really had what you would call, say, a prudent reserve. For me to move somewhere meant that I had to go through the trouble of finding storage for my stuff. And I knew that I was going to be gone for a few months. I didn't realize I didn't know if I was gonna move down there and stay there permanently, or if I was gonna go down there for a couple of months. It turned out to be, I went down there for about 8 or 9 months. But anyway, that, whatever. I was just looking for a headspace, a change. And so, yeah, I thought of the cost of storage versus the cost of my furniture, which basically was all like, you know, had come to me through like it was a full apartment full of furniture, but I had no personal investment in it. The only thing I had bought a few years ago was the first thing I ever bought, which was a 32-inch flat screen TV. So I don't know. I left messages. Hey, I'm coming down to New Orleans. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to worry about paying rent and everything like that. So if you want to, I left the door unlocked. Go in, help yourself to whatever's in there that you think you want. That's what I told people. And they did, from what I understand. A few of my friends went in there. Somebody got a freezer. My sister got my TV, but she actually just held it in her apartment. She's like, if he comes back, we'll give it back. If he doesn't, we got a TV, you know. So, and then, what else? Yeah, couches, stuff like that, you know. Lots of stuff. So. But it was a 1-bedroom, so. But there were 2 beds in there. A queen size and a full size. So, I don't know if you noticed, I do run here on the weekends, but it's nice to know. At the time I left on a Sunday, I could have went and walked maybe 10 or 15 minutes and been at my bus stop and just waited there to take the bus, and I could have taken a bus and it would have been a lot cooler coming over here, but I would not have gotten the exercise. The weekend buses run a little less frequently than during the week, but I'm going to look at that bus and take it to go work out in the gym later, possibly, or I'll take it home. Okay. So, yeah, be nice to, that time I went down there and I got to New Orleans, it was about 2:30 in the a.m. And so I just entertained myself that night. And then the very next day I had an apartment. Like, my whole idea was to spend a few weeks looking around at apartments. I didn't know if I was seriously going to stay or not, but that first time I found like an awesome apartment, and it's like, oh, well, this is a good opportunity. I'm going to take it. And I did. Okay. Be nice to the transient people. Sometimes this is, you know, I talked about the people at the Caribbean island, the Carnival Island or whatever, Celebration Island. It could just be a matter of heat exhaustion. It can kill people, you know, leading to heat stroke or whatever. It could be that simple. We don't know yet. They haven't determined, but I just saw that news thing today. Anyway, they tried CPR on both of them. Did not work. So I definitely do not want to think about, can these people resuscitate me? Because 2 out of 2, no. Okay. Love you guys. We'll talk later. Or I'll talk later for sure. Have a good day. Bye.